Fox 5 and Hot 97 present Street Soldiers with Lisa Evers.
I'm so glad you're joining us for this episode of Street Soldiers on the streaming explosion. I'm your host, Lisa Evers. Today's newest and hottest celebrities are not coming from TV shows or Hollywood films. They're emerging from online streaming shows and social media platforms. These new streaming stars are making it on their own terms and relating to their fans in powerful ways.
Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to switch.
New hip-hop artist and TikTok sensation Zeddy Will got his start as a full-time streamer on Twitch, building on that fan base to launch his music career. Kai Cenat began streaming on YouTube as a teen in the Bronx, and in just over 5 years turned his millions of followers into a multi-million-dollar income. More girls and women are getting into it too, like Zoe Spencer, who's using her viral streaming popularity to launch her acting and hosting career.
Don't ever feel discouraged because there are a lot of guys on there. You just have to get your own homegirls and get on there and do the same thing that the guys are doing. And definitely when you're doing it, 1000% be yourself. That's what a lot of people like.
This streaming is not the same as streaming your favorite TV series or film online, which in most cases is produced and scripted. It's live video to a live audience from platforms like Twitch and YouTube, says top content creator and coach Joe Stone.
You do have things with like Netflix where it is streaming, but you're streaming pre-recorded video to a platform. But this new live streaming generation is talking about specifically the live streaming creators who are, streaming video games, IRL, which is in real life streams, and, streaming live podcasts, doing 24-hour streams.
The new streaming is live and unfiltered and very interactive with the audience. Members participate in live chats with the hosts. Rising streaming star McQueen says that connection is a big part of his growing fan base.
It's number one priority because if you don't have a stream if they're not there. You don't have a stream if the chat's not involved. So it's like you have to prioritize them, or else you're not going to have a pop and stream. You're just talking to yourself.
We've put together a power panel to break this all down for us. Let's get right to it. Joining me is Joe Stone. He's a content creator and content creation coach. Joe, great to have you back with us on Street Soldiers.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Also with us is Zoe Spencer. She's a Twitch streamer and actress. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Also joining us is McQueen. He's a Twitch streamer and personality and content creator. You see him across multiple platforms as well. McQueen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Joe, let's just define this first, what we're talking about, because people think, oh, I'm streaming a series on Netflix, and that's not what we're talking about here. Break it down for us.
Exactly. So let's get the vocab right. So we have streaming platforms, and then streamers themselves. So streaming is literally just the act of live streaming video to a live audience. You can do this on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, Instagram. This is the actual service, right? Then you have dedicated streaming platforms like Twitch, like Rumble, where that's pretty much all they do. And then you have streamers, the creators on these platforms who, primarily build their audiences through only streaming. So they're not creating podcasts or necessarily doing standalone YouTube videos. They may clip those up, but they primarily build their audience through direct streaming.
When you think of Twitch, I think a lot of times people think of video gamers and people who are into video gaming and using that. How did you get involved in it?
Well, me personally, I've been a content creator for almost a decade. So I went through many phases of content creation. So I probably started streaming way before streaming actually was popular. So probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then I stopped before it took off and, built my audience through just content creation. So my almost 2 million followers came through dedicated videos, not like, the other streamers on here who I believe blew up by building those audience and those crazy streaming hours they have to, do in order to grow those fan bases.
Oh, exactly. So Spencer, we do think of like a lot of video gamers when we think of Twitch, people that aren't on it all the time. How did you get involved with this?
So I got involved. I've only been into streaming for a year and 5 months so far.
Wow.
And so a lot of people look at my journey like, wow, you blew up so fast. I definitely love the Twitch journey. I did start off on YouTube and TikTok, but with Twitch, you definitely connect more with your audience. It's like you're getting clips sent out in real time and more people joining in. So it's an amazing journey.
And what do you find about it that really connects with the audience? Because also too, you're a beautiful woman, your personality, you're there, you're bringing out also, this whole fashion sense in there too, that's making it very, very attractive and appealing to a lot of people and a lot of girls and women as well.
I do a lot of everything. So a lot of the things that I do is very relatable as well. Um, it's a very male dominated app. So we don't have many women on there, but there are definitely a lot of women that are coming in and taking over.
So Queen, tell us how did you get involved in this? Because you have a huge following as well.
I mean, I got involved in it just because I was already a YouTuber for 10 years. And I kind of saw like the shift happening where like people were moving over from YouTube to Twitch streaming or kick streaming or just streaming in general. And like with content creation, like the biggest thing in order for you to keep growing is as adaptation, and not getting stuck on just one thing that you felt like was working for a long time. Because it's eventually it's going to become obsolete. And I saw that the streaming thing was becoming more popular. So I just made the switch. And I feel like honestly, it just made more sense for my personality because, I have a very bright and how do I say, improv-ish type of personality. So I feel like I make jokes and I do things very on the fly. So I feel like streaming was perfect for it. So I tried it out and it worked out really well. So
Your relationship with the fans or the people that are following you, like on Twitch.
yeah, I mean, I already had such a huge, close relationship with my fans already. So like when I started on Twitch, it was like almost like they were waiting for me this whole time. But once I started, I had like 1,500 viewers on my first stream. So I was like, oh, this is what I need to be doing.
Stay with us, there's more to come. So tell us, first of all, tell us what's happening now. Do they expect you to be on for 24 hours?
Yes. So yesterday I started at 10 p.m. I started pretty late. So I end tonight at 10 p.m. So basically, you sleep on live and they watch you sleep. Now you can't sleep for that long because it's like, wake up. We want to see entertainment. So
Right.
you get to like 3 to 4 hours, and I think I got about three. So after this, I have to get right back on the ball rolling. Um,
So,
they don't expect you to stay up for 24 hours. They tell you to go to sleep.
Okay, so this is my question. So you're a professional streamer, and so I want to know more about the toll that it takes. Like, I know you're smiling, you know what I'm saying, and I know you're giving us but the reality is, like, it's a hard job. Like, you're putting
Yeah.
in, I know both of you guys putting in crazy hours, like back to back. Like, what is the mental strain? Like, how are you fighting burnout? How are you like coping? Do you have things you do to like stay centered? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so basically, I could go like on a week run. I'll do like a good week run, no sleep. I'm burnt out at this point. And
Mhm.
after that 1 week, I would take just like 2 days. I just need 2 days to reboot and I'm back. I don't know. It's just like I feel like you have to be made out for certain things, and I feel like this is my path. Like I just like know how to do it. I have like my energy is literally on 1,000 until I go to sleep.
do you have to do so many hours of streaming just to really even have an impact?
I mean, it's a very competitive space. Like you gotta understand, there's so many people who want to stream too. So the best way for you to stand out is to be consistent and to not miss a day because that's really your only weapon in a space where everyone wants to be a streamer. Because most people are gonna jump out of the race after a while. So if you can be the one that's the last person standing, you're gonna win. So with me, it's just like I want it that bad. I haven't missed a day since I started. You know,
How long ago was that? How long ago was
That's what
that?
I was gonna ask.
that was that was
Yeah.
that was 5 months ago. I
Okay.
haven't missed a single day since I started. And
Mm.
And
I
then like your average day, like if there's such a thing as your average day, like how long are you streaming it? And tell us about the mechanics of it.
there's my desktop right there. So if I have
Okay.
there's two different versions of streaming. Well, like the two different ones that like people mainly do is desktop and IRL. And so desktop is like when you're on your desktop, obviously, and you're just like on the computer reacting to stuff, like doing whatever. And then IRL is when you have someone, a cameraman, following you around, and you're just doing your real life things. And he's streaming you off of. People come to ask me like, oh, like how do I become a streamer? It's just like if I tell you, you're not gonna do it. And like,
Exactly.
you know
Okay,
what
so
I'm
this is
saying?
my question. Wait. This is my question. So
Yeah.
both of you, so And so this goes back to what I was saying, right? So for the next generation of creators, right, who are watching you guys, do you feel like the way that it's presented is giving false hope? Or like if you start streaming right now with no following, 8, 12 hours a day, and you just playing video games, you can do it for 5 years and average 10 viewers the entire time, even if you're doing everything right, just like you said. You had other advantages and things that blew up your Twitch, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't come in here just twitching it out. Same thing with Zoe. She didn't come off the porch just hustling from the ground up. And I could be wrong, but you know what I'm saying, with no other sauce involved. So that's what I'm saying.
If you stream it for that long and you still only averaging 10 viewers, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, you're not doing it right. I feel like you have to use other outlets. You can't just go on Twitch and expect to just have all these viewers. You need to be on TikTok. You need to be on Instagram. You need to be
Have
on
that
Snapchat.
conversation.
You need to bring all your platforms together because they work all together as one. I'm on every single platform. That's why everybody knows me. I have influence on every platform. That's what makes Twitch work.
What about the clone zone? Like if one thing works, then all of a sudden everybody starts doing that exact same thing. How do you guys deal with, keeping your originality? And as you're talking about, you continue to adapt. But I look at you, all three of you, and it's like you're creative individuals, and you're continually creating and evolving. You get annoyed if you see somebody and they did like a direct copy of something that you posted or some live stream that you did.
We all stealing. The biggest creators, we all
Literally.
we all
Everybody
stealing.
is reusing the same ideas and doing it. They're putting their little pizzazz on it. Like I recreate ideas and just put my Zoe on it. You know what I mean?
No one could ever be me except me.
Period.
So it's like even if you copy me, like there might be some form of flattery that I receive from that because it's like obviously I'm doing something correctly, if it was cool enough for you to copy it. But like Zoe said, like nothing is truly ever original. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce's single ladies dance was from three old white ladies from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a completely stolen dance. But it's like she made it popular because she put her own Beyonce like pizzazz on it, like Zoe. So it's like there's been a lot of things that I've done that were super viral ideas, but I took them from somebody and I put my own spin on it. So it's for the people who try to come and say, "Oh man, like you're unoriginal." It's like, dude, nothing in this world is truly ever original.
So what about the connection with the audience? Because some people say, well, if you're streaming and you're acknowledging the comments and you're interacting with the people, it's kind of like today's version of the original talk radio. What do you think about that?
Definitely connecting like with the audience in real time. It's definitely way more fun. It makes the chat. It's just like a entertaining enhancer, you know what I mean? Like these people are sitting here watching you outside and going everywhere. There's something called stream sniping. Have you ever heard of it, Lisa?
No. What is that?
Basically, like let's say you're at the bodega or you're somewhere outside, there will be people watching you in the chat, and they can like if you're there for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, somebody will come to the location where you are and say, "Hey, I'm watching your stream," and they'll be like stream snipe. So they literally just pulled up on you like in real time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's happened with broadcast, sometimes with broadcast on TV, and then they'll drive by, like they'll drive by or whatever, or they're watching on the app or anything like that. McQueen, what about for you? Do you, like when you're live, do you talk back? Do you acknowledge comments? How does that work?
Yeah, just like Zoe said, it's like when you interact with them, like they feel more connected, so it makes them want to chat more. That's what I've noticed. Is like when you ignore them and act like they're not there, they're not as engaged, and rightfully so, because if they're coming there to give you their time and attention, they want to feel like they're involved. So
And their money.
the more that you and their money, exactly right. So it's like if you talk to them, it's only going to benefit you more. I've learned to find more. I've actually learned to prioritize the chat more than anything
Mm.
in my streams, just because.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, the more that you talk to them, the more active they get. And I feel like with Twitch's algorithm, the more active the chat gets, the more they push you onto the front page, which means more people are going to come and watch. And then
Yeah.
your chat continues to get more and more active, which means equates to more, more donations, and more gifted subs, which is essentially more donations.
The interaction, obviously, and the connection with the people is super important.
I think that's number one. I think that's number one,
It's
honestly.
literally about chat because you have to understand this is like the new TV. So they're watching their favorite TV show, and you have to, it's this is if something is your show, you have to engage with your audience. You have to see what they like, what they don't like. It's about them.
Joe, what about this issue of authenticity? And there's something about that as well too, because is there kind of an underground resistance going on to things that are overproduced and over, you know,
100%. We've seen that. We've seen that in long form content and short form content, as well as with streaming. I think that's the reason why streaming has had its moment, is because as we saw, like, YouTube and Instagram and long form and short form content getting more and more productized and the production quality getting higher. Like me, I have 4K cameras and editing teams, and we're doing retention editing and stuff. And then, like you said, it'll be the video that is shot more raw that has the higher views. I've experienced that as well, to the point where we started pulling back on editing and changing our processes to make things look more raw and more internet, so it doesn't feel over edited. So I do think that because of Twitch and the streaming era, that now we have like this super raw, especially with the IRL streams where you're in real life and they get to see you on spot. And I think it's only going to become more important as we see like the rise of AI and AI creators and people not being able to know what's real and what's not.
Joe, what about in terms of the business and the money aspect of this?
Well, they probably know better than I do. I've gotten a check off of every platform but Twitch. So I don't know what the Twitch money look like. But I do know it is like $100 billion industry now, and is expected to hit like 300 billion by 2030. So, I mean, there's a lot of money going on. And you got people like Kai Cenat, some of the top streamers. I think he turned down like allegedly like $50 million from Kick, another rival streaming platform, to go stream over there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's making something between like $4 and $5 million a month just on Twitch subs. But of course he's at the top, right? And so, but we see that there is a lot of money in streaming, especially at the top.
Queen, what about the money thing? You mentioned like donations, but it's like, can you really are you doing this like this is your full-time job? Like you can support yourself?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's also like using, the other platforms to make money as well too. Obviously, you're not just fully relying on Twitch. Like you make money off of TikTok from the clips that you're posting. You make money off of YouTube. If you have a YouTube clips page, right? You take your clips from your stream, you clip them up into 4 different segments, 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute videos, and you post them on YouTube, and you're making money from AdSense. So it's like there's so many other ways for you to monetize, it's not just off of Twitch alone. So, but it all roots from Twitch as the head of the snake.
So what about you and especially being a woman too, because there's so many things like potentials for endorsements and
Yeah.
products and that type of thing. Have you been involved with anything like that? Like
Yeah,
brands?
absolutely. So like one of my top brand deals that I had, I did a 12-hour stream for NYX Cosmetics. I flew out to LA and I did a 12-hour stream with them, and that was me being on stream plus what I got from NYX was like a beautiful payment. You know what I mean? So it's like Twitch just helps with everything because you're not only getting paid from Twitch, but you got people that's coming onto your platform and they're trying to pay. You have labels, you have brand deals. If I just have like a bottle that's sitting here, but I have to promote the bottle, I'm getting paid from this.
Guys, for people that want to get involved in this, and so you're really kind of on the cutting edge here of more women being out there and being involved and just being like, yeah, I can do these 24-hour streams just like everybody, like all you guys. What advice do you have for the women?
Yeah, so the advice that I have for the women is to definitely just like be yourself. I know that sometimes like people could feel definitely intimidated, especially because it's very male dominated. It started as a male platform to begin with, and also definitely be consistent because like McQueen said earlier, it's a very competitive app.
In terms of advice for other people, what kind of advice do you have for them?
They're not gonna like it, but stay consistent. Don't miss a day, because I truly feel like I truly feel like the number one weapon that you have is showing up every day because most people aren't going to. So if you're the last person standing, then you're gonna be the person who wins everybody over.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Street Soldiers on the streaming explosion. You can watch it again and share it on our Fox 5 NY YouTube page and the free Fox Local app. Remember, use your mind as your best weapon. I'm Lisa Evers. Let's push for peace, love, and justice for all.